Hey guys, this is Kami Ken, and sometimes I don't understand why people reject the need for an editor. Because I don't know where I would be with my stories if I didn't have an editor working with me to hone and craft them to be the best they can be, or to be stronger than what I could do on my own. And I've reached out to people in the past to offer writing help or an ear to bounce things off of. And most people are like, oh, I'm good. No thanks. I'm good. I can figure it out on my own. And then when it comes time for them to sell their book, they have trouble because the story doesn't work, or it's hard to read, or there's a multitude of things that could have been easily solved at the editor level or at the thumbnail stage. And it confuses me because the best works need editors. I'm talking about all the manga that you read needed editors. Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, everything needs an editor. The best stuff needs an editor. Your editor is your first reader, the one who's going to keep your story on track, make sure that you're saying what you need to say with clarity and narrative drive, and making sure that you're not muddling your message with all the things that you want to do when you're in your story, and rather the things that would be the best possible option for your story for another reader. Because there's a ton of ideas that I have that I'm like, oh, this would be nice to throw in. This would be nice to throw in. When I talk to my editor or when I talk to my writing group, they're like, that idea is not the best. Try to switch that out or tweak this, move this here, move that down there. And then all of a sudden the work is better. Even if I don't understand why it's better, they can read it easier, or they feel like, oh, this comes off a lot better. And I feel much more comfortable presenting it to other people, having the story reviewed by writers that I trust, or people that know what they're talking about story-wise. And for the people who don't think they need an editor or don't want an editor, it's fine if you're doing it for fun. But if you're trying to make, let's say, a commercial product, or if you're trying to make something that you're intending to sell, and it's not just a pure expression of your unfettered mind, and you want it to be relatable or something that you can easily communicate to somebody else, then an editor is necessary. If you don't believe that you need one, just think about the fact that Kobe needed a coach, Michael Jordan needed a coach, Shaq needed a coach. Everyone good who's performing at a high level needs a coach at something. They need somebody looking over what they are doing and critiquing them so that they can improve. Most of the stuff that you see online that isn't good or isn't in a state that looks presentable or is understandable didn't have a strong enough editor or didn't have any editors at all. For so long, when I was just starting out, I was looking for an editor, somebody who could write, somebody who could think about story on a high level, somebody who could tell me where I was going wrong and why. And I was lucky enough to meet several people like that over time and have deep discussions with them, and we sharpen our knowledge of storytelling just by talking to each other. Like, having a writing group or having a group of people that read your stuff and can tell you what's working and what's not working is invaluable if you're trying to make something that you can sell or that you can put out there as a long form story or even a short form story. It's just it just makes for stronger work. That way you won't be like embarrassed when you put your stuff out there and people aren't feeling it as much as you want them to. You know, like you'll be more confident in the work that you put out because you have somebody who's seen the work, has told you what they liked about it, because you had that beta reader, because you had that early reader to look over your stuff, tell you what works, what doesn't, and then help you change and improve what you had. And that is 100% what I'm doing for my latest webcomic, Saintly, because having an editor help me figure out the story has made it so much stronger than I could have done on my own. There were so many like weird and erroneous ideas that I had on my own that I was just like, oh, this got to be in there, this got to be in there, this got to be in there. But having an editor help shorten down my workload and help me focus on what actually mattered in the story, so that I wasn't just letting my mind drift to any old idea that I had. And they helped me like hone it down to where it's actually cohesive enough while still maintaining the spirit of what I intended. And that's what you want in a good editor, somebody who focuses on what you are trying to say and will allow you to tell the story that you have in mind, but help you like clarify and focus it so that you're not just going off the rails with the story. That's what the purpose of an editor is. And I will continue to use an editor for my story so that it is strong all the way through, and eventually you'll be able to see the result of that. So I hope you check out my latest webcomic, Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy about two best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop demon hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice, and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend, or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.